Chapter 6.3, the percent proportion. The percent proportion is A over W equals P over 100, or is over of equals percent over 100. Our first question says, what percent of 15 is 12? So I'm first going to write is over of equals percent over 100 to remind me of where I need to put our numbers. So I'm going to rewrite this, leave my blanks, and put 100 in the bottom right. It says what percent of 15? They're telling us that 15 is going to be our of, so that's going to go on our bottom left. And then it says is 12. So 12 is our is word, so we're going to put 12 over top, and then we're going to write P for percent. So the first thing in order to solve this problem is we have to multiply diagonally 12 times 100, and we get 1200. And now we are going to divide by the other number, which is 15. So 1200 divided by 15. 15 goes into 120 8 times, which is 40. So we get 120, so that's even. So then break down my 0, and 15 goes into 0 times. So my answer is 80%. The next problem says, what percent of 5 is 3? So again, I'm going to use my is over of equals percent over 100. So now I have of 5. So again, that of is going to go on bottom. So I'm going to put my 5 is 3. So 3 is on top of 5. I'm going to put my 100, and then we got our P for percent. Again, I'm going to multiply diagonally. 3 times 100 is 300. And now I'm going to divide that by 5. That's my other number. So 300 divided by 5. 5 goes into 30 6 times, and that goes in there evenly. Subtract, bring down my 0. 5 goes into 0 times, and I get 60%. And that is my answer. So the next type of problem we're going to do is finding a part. So again, we're going to start off with is over of equals percent over 100. So the problem says, what number is 36% of 50? So we're going to start off again the exact same way. We're going to put 100 in the bottom right. So now it says, what number is 36%? Well, 36% is our percent part. So we're going to put that above 100, but we do not need to put the percent sign. So we're just going to put 36. Then it says of 50. So since it says of 50, 50 goes below. And then we don't know the top, so we're going to put an X. Again, we are going to multiply diagonally. So now I have 36 times 50. 5 goes into 30. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry my 3. 5 times 3 plus 3 is 1800. And now we're going to divide by 100. And 1800 divided by 100. Take off the zeros, and we get 18. The next problem says 25 is what percent of 20? So again, we're going to use our is over of equals percent over 100. So it says 25 is, so 25 is going to go on top. What percent? That's going to go, we don't know our percent, of 20. And we know of goes on bottom, so we're going to do that. So now we have 25 times 100, and we get 2500. And now we're going to divide by 20. So 2500 divided by 20. Take off my zeros. 2 goes into 2 once. Nothing left over. Bring down my 5. 2 goes into 5 twice. 4, 1. Bring down a 0. 2 goes into 10. 5. And we get 125%. Finding a whole. Again, we are going to use our is over of equals percent over 100. So what we're going to do is start off our fraction again with 100 on the bottom right. It says 150%, so that's our percent, so that's going to go above 100 of what number is 24. So it's telling us 24 is our is, so we're going to put an X on bottom. Again, we're going to cross multiply. So 24 times 100 is 2400. And now we're going to divide by 150. And again, we can cross off a 0 because they both have a 0 at the end. 15 goes into 24 one time. We have 9 left over. Bring down our 0. 15 goes into 90 6 times. And our answer is 16. The next question says 10% of 40.5 is what number? So again, we're going to start it off with our is over of equals a percent over 100. So 100 goes on bottom. It says 10%. I'm going to put 10 on top of 100 of 40.5. So 40.5 is our of, which goes on the bottom left. Is what number? We don't know our is, so we're going to put an X. Again, we're going to cross multiply. So we have 40.5 times 10. We have one number after the decimal, so we end up with 405. And 405 divided by 100, we're going to say 100 goes into 405 4 times. We get 400. We have 5 left over, so we're going to put a decimal and bring down a 0. 100 does not go into 50, so we're going to put a 0. We're going to add another 0. 100 goes into 500 5 times, and we get 405. So it says, the bar graph shows the strength of tornadoes that occurred in Alabama in 2011. What percent of the tornadoes were EF1s? So what we need to do is figure out how many tornadoes there were altogether. So we're simply going to add 36 plus 58 plus 29 plus 13 plus 7 plus 2. And when we add that all together, we get 145 tornadoes. So the question says, the bar graph shows the strength of tornadoes. Of tornadoes. That means how many tornadoes were there altogether, which we came up with 145. Alright, it's asking for what percent. So we know we don't know the percent, so we're going to put P for percent. We know 100 always goes on bottom. Now we got to figure out how many EF1 tornadoes there were in Alabama. And if we look at the graph, we can see that there was 58. So now we are going to multiply diagonally, like we have been doing. 58 times 100 gives me 58/100. Now we're going to take that and we're going to say 5800 divided by 145. And we know that 145 goes into 584 times. That's a 0, carry my 2, 16 plus 2 is 18, carry my 1, 580. So bring down my other 0, 145 does not go into that. So we know it is 40% of all the tornadoes were EF1.